Yo, yo, this is your boy Q. Welcome to the Corona Cast. It has been a while since I've streamed live. Had a lot of stuff going on, work related, getting some things done in the household. So forgive me for that, folks, but I'm here. And forgive me with some of the lighting. I know y'all can't see that well. I'm playing around with this lighting, trying to get this thing right, but you can hear my voice. Let me try to get some more light in this thing. Let's see what we got here. Here we go. Y'all can see my beautiful face a little bit better. So, this is the Corona Cast, and normally our focus is talking about how the coronavirus affects our everyday lives. But this particular stream, we're gonna pause that, and the focus is gonna be on a lot of this racial injustice that we're dealing with. The murder of unarmed black men and black people in America at the hands of white people, and enough is enough. The title of this particular stream is "The Last Straw." This is the last straw. We can't keep settling for this type of behavior and accepting this type of behavior. So as many of you see, it's made nationwide news or all over the world that there's been protests and riots and looting going on. Now, I don't condone looting and acts of violence. That's not what I stand for. But when you're dealing with the people who's just tired of being tired or sick and tired of being sick and tired, you can only be hit so many times before you strike back. And that's what we're seeing now. And we've seen many African American men, killed or mishandled by the police over the years. This is the situation with George Floyd isn't anything new, but it's very visceral. To just sit there and see that it causes a visceral reaction when you see, a man being killed in front of our eyes, and the police officer showing no emotion, didn't care, treated him like he was garbage. Bystanders are pleading with the officer to, check on him, to you got him, he's subdued. They're pleading with him. So there's no way that the officers at any time can say that the man was struggling or they didn't have him under control. This went way beyond. And, the saying back in the day, they would say that the revolution will be televised. I believe that the revolution will be streamed live. And that's what we're starting to see. We're starting to see a change because we're not going to take it anymore. We're not just going to be gunned down and mishandled. We've allowed 401 years of this treatment. And we built this nation, and we're still somehow treated as less. We can't stand for this anymore. And I'm not telling people to go out there and do heinous things because, violence begets violence. I'm not saying anything like that, but we have a right to protest. We have a right to make our voices heard. We don't have to use friendly words all the time, and in other ways, we have to get out there. We got to vote, especially in these local elections, and then getting up to this presidential election. We got to get out there, because we got to get this guy out of office because he is not acting in our best interest. And a lot of people's true colors, for lack of a better word, are starting to show. And then you have a lot of these corporations are issuing statements that they stand with the black community. To me, that's about money because they recognize the value of our dollar. Unfortunately, we don't. What I would really like, and one of my friends had made a suggestion about how we cause change to happen is we hit them in their wallets. We hit them in the wallet. And by that, we should boycott a particular product. We should find one of these major corporations, be it Nike, be it Coca Cola, one of these very large companies, and as a people for a certain amount of time, not buy their products. And understand that that particular company may not have done anything that was offensive to our people, but what we have to do is start showing our strength. And a lot of our strength is in our dollar. We are the trendsetters. We make it cool to wear this and to drink that. We have a handle over the hip hop industry, which has affected all these different kinds of commercials and ways that these companies promote themselves. So we have power. We just have to learn how to use it and stop, you know, making these others rich. And if one thing that this coronavirus situation has showed is how resilient we are as a people. We've been at home making masks, and I know a lot of people have discovered new things about themselves, skills that they didn't realize they had before, or had things that have been putting off for a long time. So we have, grown. We know we have skills. We know we have power. But now that things are starting to get better somewhat, and I say that word not with full confidence, but it is appearing that things are getting better. But don't be fooled by that. But at any rate, we don't need to go back to the status quo. We don't go back to just giving our money away and being mindless and just, no, we need to take our power. We are like the one race that is not unified. And without unity, there's no community. There's no you and me. There's no togetherness. We're stronger united than we are divided. And that's how we've been set up since we came to this country. Keep the light skinned black hating the dark skinned black, the black person with the good hair against the one with the kinky hair. The biggest thing with us is we're more about competing with one another than being better than the others out there. You're happy being better than me, and I'm happy being better than you. And where does that get us? Nowhere. That just makes us crabs in the barrel. You just the crab that crawled on top of the other crab, but guess what? You're the first one they're gonna put in the pot and boil. So we got to change our mindset. We have to understand we are powerful. We are a superior group of people. And I'm not putting other races down. Everybody has their things, but we are just made a certain way. Everything we touch, and when we put our heart into it and our skill into it, we dominate everything. And that's where a lot of fear from other people toward us is. They don't want us to get to that place where we're powerful and we understand that we're powerful. We're like that beautiful girl that nobody told was beautiful, so she doesn't think she looks good. When somebody finally lets her know, you know what, you're gorgeous, you're beautiful, you're powerful, you're strong, and she starts to believe that about herself, ain't no stopping her. That's the black race. We've been told that we're not as pretty or not as this or not as qualified or not as smart or not as capable as some of these others. But every time we get into a particular field that we've been shut out of, we excel at it. We shine. We just need opportunities. And unfortunately, we just really show our physical prowess through sports, through music. But we have some of the best doctors, lawyers, out there as well. We are a people that is capable of doing anything. We just have to believe it. We have to support each other. And we do have to support our black businesses. And I know that's difficult for a lot of us because a lot of times it's different because the Financial things is usually they charge us a little higher, it seems like, when you shop in a lot of the black owned businesses. And we do have some customer service issues, especially in the retail aspects. We got to get better. If we want people to treat our establishments with respect, we have to also give respect to the customers that we service. We have to start there. And it really hurts my heart because people of all races come to the black communities to set up shop, literally. Furniture shops, there's a lot of Arabians. In gas stations, a lot of Middle Eastern and Arabian individuals running those uh, gas stations. You have the Korean nail salons and different folks owning the liquor stores and the chicken spots in the black communities. Why don't we own those? Why is it someone else from another country coming into our neighborhoods, building these establishments, and we're just throwing our money at them? We're begging them to take our money. We line up outside the beauty shops, giving them money, making them rich. And in some of the neighborhoods, I've seen the treatment of the customers by these foreigners. Like, it was terrible treatment. They treat us like we have to shop with them, that we need them. And this is the time, we need a seat change. We have to use the power of our dollar, withdraw our money from certain parts of this economy. And you'll see how much power we have. We're the minority, but when you minus our money, we're the ones who buy the expensive sneakers and this high-end merchandise. It's us. Okay, it's us. So, with that said, we have to start using the power of our dollar and make change, because the only thing that they recognize, the powers that be, is the almighty dollar. That's it. They recognize nothing else. We can protest, we can rally. They recognize the looting because that's affecting their bottom line, but we cannot continue to loot. We can't destroy and keep destroying things. That's not a wise way to handle yourself. And all it's going to do is make us look like animals, which that's what they want to portray anyway, is that we're animals. So it's okay to be angry, but we have to get beyond anger, beyond getting in our feelings and our emotions, and start acting with intellect, acting with purpose, and acting with unity. That's what we got to do. And I'm not saying that that's easy. I don't have all the answers for how we're going to get that accomplished, but maybe not even in our generation. Maybe we need to start building our children up, giving them to understand, you have power. You have power. We have to start empowering our children, because that's the way we can actually make change. And me being a native New Yorker, I've grown up with police brutality, certain forms of racism with white officers riding in a car calling me the N-word. I've, I think, been through at least a couple instances of that. I had individuals that I grew up with killed in police custody with his handcuffed with his hands behind his back. You know, we've had just so many senseless acts of violence against Black people. So, I'm a little more desensitized, unfortunately, to it because I've grown up with it for so long, but it doesn't make it right. It's a horrible, deplorable thing that's going on. And now with the advent of social media, we're seeing all of these things. Before, you heard about these things, there were whispers, and The police had their different reasons. Oh, it was because of this and because of that. But now, because we can stream, we can show things as it's happening live. It's making it harder for them to hide behind that. But this has been going on for a long time, people, and it has to stop. You know, we should not be afraid of the police that are here to serve and protect. We should not be afraid of that. I should not feel uncomfortable just because a police officer's in the way. I shouldn't feel like I'm a criminal or that I'm fit the description or I've done something wrong just by being black. It's hard to live that way. You know, you make yourself look suspicious because you get uncomfortable when they're around because you think that they're thinking that you're doing something wrong. It's a vicious cycle, as is. If I'm walking behind a female, I'm uncomfortable because, like, if I'm walking in the street and she's walking and, she clutches the bag, it's that whole thing. And I've tried to break myself out of that mentality as I've gotten older, but this is how I grew up. When I go into a business, I know that they're watching me. You know, that fake "can I help you" is not a true "can I help you." That's to see, hey, is this guy about to steal something? This is how we live as black people. But the difference is this younger generation that's coming up now, they don't want to hear that crap anymore. They're not trying to be treated like that anymore. So this current crop of people that's coming up, they're different, and I think they're gonna fight differently and demand respect and demand change. But where they do have to get smart is understanding it's their dollar. Use your dollar, you know, hit them in the wallet. They'll feel that. But I don't know, America, what's gonna happen? How long are we gonna be operating like this? You know, and I know that the white folks out there, a lot of they're uncomfortable, especially those who are friends with have black friends and family members and people that they're really cool with. They don't know how to react to this situation because a lot of them feel embarrassed for these what these cops are doing. Racism has multiple sides to it. It has an effect on multiple sides. Because everybody's not a racist. Every white person doesn't hate black people. You know, but it makes them uncomfortable because they feel like they did something wrong because some idiots behaved a certain way. And before I forget, the other thing is how we're portrayed as black people. If you think about it, we are the minority in the country, but the news media shows like 90% of us in the criminal way and maybe 1% of a white person committing the crime. So it starts to create a mindset, in the eyes of people that watch that, oh, black people are criminals. And that's something that's being crafted by the media. You understand? Like, if a black people committed 10 crimes, you're going to show 9 of those on TV, but a white person committed 100 crimes, you're going to only show maybe 1. How is that possible? So that is a media driven directive to frame us as criminals because a lot of what we see on TV, we soak that in and we apply that to life, thinking that everybody's the same way. You get the same image: young black man, hoodie, dreads, tattoos, or some situation like that, head down, being detained. You see it night in and night out. But I guarantee you that they start showing maybe one black criminal and 9 white criminals, that wouldn't look good for America. They wouldn't like that. No, 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 no. We're not. That's not who we are as America. See, they don't mind showing us to be criminals. They don't mind us being portrayed that way. But we have to be smarter than that. We have to get in touch with the local news. That's another area we can focus our energy on. Hey, why are you showing all of these stories of black men and black people committing crimes when I'm sure there were multiple crimes committed by Caucasian people? Get some of that on the news. That's a way we can strike back. We have to change this dynamic. We need to hold the news media accountable. And if they want to keep showing black men all the time or black people being arrested all the time, guess what? Let's stop watching it. Let's turn it off. You know, hit them in their pocket again. We will not watch your shows if all you're going to show is black people committing crimes when you know we're the minority. Let's hold them accountable for that. Okay? So that's another way we can flex our muscle and show our power. But we've really, as a people, have to pick a product or a couple products. And I would say, man, for like a good year, so you know what, we're not spending any black dollars in this particular area. You know, and that's how we get it done. But anyway, people, I'm going to cut the stream short here. And hopefully next week, maybe even Sunday, I might get back on and talk about some things. And in addition to just focusing on Corona and its effect on our lives, this is going to be about social content as well, about different things that's going on in the community. So yes, the channel's inception, it was about the coronavirus and its effect on our daily lives. But as in life, things grow, things change. So the focus will be on social issues as well. But I think I'll just keep the name the Corona Cast. So I thank you guys for supporting the channel. Leave a like and a thumbs up and a comment if you can. And remember, wash your hands. Dirty. Nasty. It's been a while. Wash your hands, nasty. I'll see ya. Y'all be safe out there.